Hi guys, welcome to the channel. If you haven't subscribed already, hit that button up on there, or it might be down there. Subscribe and follow me. Welcome to the new channel. I just want to let you know this is going to be a Fuji-centric video that we're going to do monthly with Leia. And she is my FujiFilm Twinkie. Leia is actually the main reason that I'm shooting Fuji today. I still own her original X100 that my darling wife got to me for a present when she upgraded. I did not upgrade the X100.
No, I know.
I still have it.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to be buried with it. So follow the channel, subscribe to Leah, subscribe to mine, and we're going to be pushing out a monthly Fuji-centric video. So go check out the content, like and subscribe us, and we're just going to get into the show right now.
So today we are going to be talking about the zoom lens versus the prime lenses. Which do you prefer? We're going to run through just some ideas on what we think is best, how we use these lenses, what we shoot them, you know, what we use to photograph.
Shoot with the lenses.
I will get it out eventually.
What are we shooting with these lenses?
Why do we use primes versus a zoom lens? And what point, you know, depending on what you're shooting, why would you use a zoom versus a prime? So we're going to sort of talk about that and exchange some ideas on.
I think it's great, and this is a big topic that a lot of photographers, when they get into the craft, especially I think when they go into business and start making money.
Right.
I think that so many photographers are extremely concerned or even overly concerned with the sharpness of the image, which we all want sharp images,
right?
But zoom images produce just as sharp as a prime.
But which one is quicker?
But which one is quicker?
Yeah.
So
there's also
it's a different tool
that,
in your tool bag.
Exactly. There's a theory that primes might be faster than a zoom lens because it doesn't really have to, you know, focus in or out. So.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. So what are your preferences? Let's go there.
Okay. My preferences are prime lenses. I primarily shoot with a prime lens, and my favorite is the 23mm 1.4. I shot with the f2 version for over 3 years and loved it, but that is definitely a lens that does not leave the body of my X-T3 camera. It is always snapped into
So
it.
the 23-1.4.
Yeah.
And so you shoot weddings primarily.
Yes.
So you have a body with a 23-1.4.
Never leaves the body.
What's the other body on? What's the other body have?
So I have my X-T2 because we shoot with 2 cameras. And on the X-T2, I switch it from sometimes a 35, then I'll switch to maybe the 90 during the ceremony, or I also use the 50 to 140 during the ceremony so that I can zoom in and out if I'm far away. But I primarily have, I think, the 50mm, you know, towards the reception, because that's really the longest part of the wedding. It's like 4, sometimes 5 hours. And I found that the 50mm is really quick to focus in low light. So.
Right. Are you using the 50 1.0?
No, I'm not. It's
a
little out of my budget at the moment. But, so the X-T2 is really the camera that I'm constantly switching lenses. You know, I go from a 35 to a 90 to a 50. Sometimes if I'm doing like detail shots of the rings or the invitations, I'll even put on my my little extender and
extension tube. Yeah.
Right. So that's the one where I'm always constantly switching the lenses. But the X-T3 always has my 23 on it, and I love it.
Well, that's interesting because the 23mm on a Fujifilm camera is like a 35mm on a full frame.
Right.
And as a photojournalist, that's mostly my training. I absolutely adore the perspective and the angle. It is, it's wide enough that you can do an environmental portrait. Like you can do a portrait, but be able to see the environment they're in, versus maybe a 50mm where you really got to back up and you can't talk to the person when you're shooting. You're almost yelling.
Yeah.
However, with that said, the 18mm 1.4.
Yes, I know.
So this purchase was a mistake that my wife picked up at Bedford Camera. because I had made a comment that, oh, that seems like a really interesting lens.
But was it really a mistake, though?
Well, no, it wasn't a mistake.
It was the best mistake
It was
ever.
the best mistake ever. So I put it on here and I thought to myself, well, 18 millimeter, that's just a little too wide for me.
Right.
And the lens, obviously being a 1.4, is a lot larger than the 23 f2 that I normally would shoot with.
Is it weather sealed?
This one is weather sealed.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Which is good because I understand that the 23 1.4 is not.
It is not weather sealed, and I wish it was.
But this lens is quickly becoming my go-to lens. So the X Pro 3, I carry this every day with me all the time. I love this camera. It is amazing. I actually don't want Fuji to come out with an X Pro 4.
Yeah.
Because this one to me is awesome.
Yeah, I had the X Pro 2, and I actually got rid of it, and we went primarily to the XT 2 and 3.
Bad girl.
Yeah, so far, I'm loving it. I think the thing that was really harder for me to sort of get used to was the fact that the viewfinder is on the complete left side of the camera.
Yes.
And I'm used to everything being in the middle, and same with Canon. I mean, because I came from Canon. Like, just everything's right there in the middle. So.
Right, it's the SLR style,
right.
where you have your viewfinder in the middle.
Yeah.
I like it because of the rangefinder style, and when I hold the camera up, I leave this eye open.
Yeah.
So this is completely unblocked.
I actually do the same thing with my XTs, though. I actually do leave this eye open as I'm...
Yeah, but you have all that stuff above it.
Yeah, I do. I'm kind of used
to it. And then this, it's a square.
Right.
I know it's crazy, but it's a square with as much traveling as I do.
Yeah.
This packs anywhere.
Yeah, I know, it's nice.
It's crazy.
It is nice. It's a nice camera.
And
it's a good heavy metal
Oh my
body,
God,
too.
yes. I have a little aftermarket grip on here, so I can get a little bit of grip on it, but
Right.
it's great. So going back to the lenses, I'm a little different. So I use primes in my personal work, and they stay with me all the time. And I do use primes for work as well, but traditionally with doing weddings, events, that kind of stuff, this baby right here, this is the workhorse for me.
Right.
The 16 to 55 2.8.
Right.
So it's equivalent of a 24 to 70.
Yeah.
I can shoot an entire wedding with this lens. I can shoot an entire event with this lens. The reason I know, I did it last night.
Yeah. Well, and that's what Shane uses too on his cameras. He's primarily a zoom guy. So
Really? So you guys are like a hybrid family.
We're kind of like, we have like our own preferences, but he has the 16 to 55 on his XT3 full time. And then on his other camera, he's got the 23 1.4. So, but towards the end of the night, he's using the 16
hang on
to
a second.
55.
Hang on. Well, I got to back up just 1 minute.
Okay.
So both of you have a 23 millimeter 1.4?
Yes, I know.
Well, crap. Now I have to go buy one.
Yeah, no, I mean, and at one point years ago, both of us had a 16 to 55, but I found that I was using primes just so much more. I just like the feel of it. I'm so used to just walking, closer to a subject if I need to be closer.
Zoom in with your feet.
Right, exactly. So sometimes he'll let me borrow his if I'm shooting like a super, big group photo and I don't have time to run to my bag. It's like, hey, let me borrow your lens really quick and I'll snap his on. I still have that urge to like walk forward or back because I forget that I can just twist it and it's like, but yeah. This is his full-time.
This to me is the workhorse. I shoot this so much for work, commercial work. It works amazing.
Yeah.
But, and again, this is a non-scientific, non-technical video.
Right.
So it's just our personal opinions.
Yeah.
I will have to say that I feel that the prime lenses do focus faster, and I feel that they lock focus better.
Right.
And I think it's because with the zoom lenses, whenever you zoom, there's a group of lenses inside that have to move to magnify or demagnify the image.
Right.
Where with the prime,
it's like already there.
Correct. The only thing that's moving is one element or a small group that has to focus. You don't need to have two elements moving like in a zoom.
Right.
So I feel that these are obviously faster in f-stop, faster in autofocus speed, and they lock on better.
Right.
When you're in low light. Outside in bright daylight, I don't think it makes a difference.
No, yeah, definitely not. I think anything, if you have the right settings, I think anything is sharp when you're outside.
And works great.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, I will say on the zoom, so I did a trip to Spain 2 years ago, And I purchased this. Is an F4. It's a 10 to 24 F4 model, image stabilized. I put this on my camera, and I went through my Capture One catalog, and this is during COVID. I was, trying to go back to some images. You post stuff during the whole COVID coma.
Right.
And 93% of all the images I took on my trip to Spain was with this lens.
That is crazy.
93%. I sat down, figured out how many I shot, how many were with that one when I did the metadata. And it was 93%. And this is such an underrated lens.
Yeah.
For travel.
Yeah.
I don't really use it that much for weddings or any events unless it's a very tight space, because it does have a bowing on the outside. It's so wide.
Right.
But for street walking and travel, this thing's amazing.
That's awesome.
So I want to hear about your other favorite lenses beside that 23 1.4.
Well, and the 23, it's funny that you mentioned the percent. All the weddings we've done, at least 90% of my images are shot with the 23. But I will say that I have recently fallen in love with the 90 millimeter, which I know it's crazy, and you do have to move like really far away from the people, so you are yelling. And I think I did a video on this like a few videos back, but you know what? The yelling is worth it. Like, even if I have to yell at people, their images are going to be so sharp and crisp. There's no distortion on the edges.
Right.
They
You're
come
really
out
zoomed
just,
in.
Yeah.
Now you're not doing a group shot. You're doing like.
I've done up to 5 people with that thing. It's great. And each person, if they're on the same plane, if you have one guy who's like 7 feet tall, it's probably not going to work out. And plus, it also depends on how far away you are from your subjects. But, you have to get so far back that your images are going to be crisp anyway. So I have done some wedding, group images that with at least 5 people where every single person was just absolutely crisp. So I love the 90 millimeter. I think is not really talked about enough, and it really did become a favorite of mine.
Now that's not a macro. Am I correct? It's just a regular lens. Or is it a macro?
I think it is a macro.
Because I think I have the 80 macro.
Okay.
And
I know that I don't know if it's
big.
a macro actually.
It's big and it's heavy.
What I do like about it is that if I use my extension tube, I can get beautiful shots of rings and the invitations. And there was even an inscription on the inside of a groom's ring, and I was able to just so cleanly focus on that and just get that with the 90. It was nice. So if I'm using like even the 23 with the extension tube, it's terrible. It's not that great. You have to be like practically right on top of it, and then
because the 90 millimeters, when you put an extension tube on it, it allows you to focus closer, putting you into a macro range per se.
Yeah.
But the 90 millimeter allows you a longer working distance.
Right.
Where with the 23, you got to be right up against it, and you'll block all the light.
Exactly.
Which I really hate as well.
Know. I probably should do some more research on the 90 on whether it is a macro or not. I'm not really a technical person, so I'm more like...
This works out perfectly.
Yeah, because you are.
I'm a tech geek.
Yeah.
Not because I'm a guy. I do have a feminine side, but I'm a tech geek.
But you can also like very clearly tell everyone the inner workings of any Fuji camera.
I can.
So, yeah.
But the thing is that the reason that I think this video series is going to work great is because you're the touchy-feely.
Right, yeah.
Okay?
And you're the...
And I'm the tech guy.
Yeah.
So put the comments below and we'll try and answer the question. So to wrap up, what's in your kit?
Okay, what's in my kit is the 23, the 50, the 56. Recently, I acquired a 16 millimeter, which I absolutely love.
See, I wanted the 16 over the 18.
I actually traded my 18 in for the 16, and I'm not looking back. That thing is
God, you're killing me.
Yeah. So I've got, let me start over. I got the 16, the 23, the 50, the 56, I have a 90, and I have the 50 to 140.
And that's in your bag?
That's in my bag. That's what I take to every single wedding. And then I also have the XT2 and the XT3. And then, of course, we have our, our light triggers for our Godox lights. And then I have a couple of flashes. So, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. How about you? What's in your kit?
So my kit... So I have if you see me in the street, I have a daily kit that I carry with me all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I have the X Pro 3 with the 18 millimeter 1.4.
Mm-hmm.
I keep a 56-1.2 because sometimes I'll get a call for a headshot.
Okay.
And I know this sounds really crazy because I'm, if you know me, I am used to carrying everything.
Right.
It's like bring everything, even if you don't need it, you got it.
Right.
So I'll have the 56, this one, and then I have the 35-1.4, which is a 50 mil lens equivalent to full frame.
Mm-hmm.
And this, I believe, this is like one of the first lens designs that came out when the Fuji X system started.
Right.
So this is a 10 or 12-year-old design.
Yeah.
It's sharpish, like it's sharpish. It's
Right.
sharp enough to
Right.
get the job done. But the bokeh, the background, the feel, it has a unique characteristic. So I've actually shot headshots with this
Oh, see, that's
before, a little bit wider and vertically, kind of showing a little bit of the background.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what stays in my kit. Now, in my work rolling case, I keep the 10 to 24, the 16 to 55 2.8. I carry this big baby, the
Right.
50 to 140, and yeah, that's it. Because I always have my day pack with me that has the other stuff.
I do have a 35 too, but I have not included that in yet. I'm still, I don't know. I've always been on the fence about the 35. It's sort of like I like it and I want to use it, but I keep going back to, the 23, or the,
23.
Other things. So.
Well, the one thing that, and maybe we can do a future video on that.
Right.
So the one thing I like about the F2 versions is they're all weather sealed. They're compact.
Right.
And if you stack the 23 F2, the 35 F2, and the 50 F2, do you know they'll fit inside of a Pringles can?
Oh, see? This is the tip of the day, folks. I'm telling you.
Yeah, so you could get a Pringles can and like some pieces of foam, stack them in there, close the can up,
Right.
go travel, and
Yes.
TSA is just going to think it's a bag of chips.
Now, is that Pringles can weather sealed?
No, but the lenses are.
Yeah, so.
You have to, otherwise
Right.
you get crumbs in your lenses.
Okay, well, yeah, be sure to clear out that Pringles can first.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Do that first. And we might just do another video on
Yeah.
that for fun.
We should.
We should. Like travel lenses. Like I said,
Oh,
I
see,
mean,
yeah,
this
that would be
10
good.
to 24 for travel is amazing.
Right.
But I just got back last week from a trip to North Carolina, and I actually took the 18, I took the 35 and the 56, which was my day kit, and then I have a Laowa, which is an off-brand 9mm,
Oh, okay.
super wide.
Yeah.
And I could have just used my 8. I just used my 18 the entire time. I
Oh.
packed the other ones in my day kit and was walking around checking things out.
Yeah.
And I never switched lenses.
See, I know. And when we went out to coffee a couple weeks ago, and you had me try the 18. Now I
Yes.
had the F2 version, but this version.
Oh,
I mean, I almost could easily go back to the 18 because this is just such a nice, chunky lens.
Oh, I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
And it is.
This one was much nicer than the 18 I had. I mean,
it's tack sharp.
yeah.
I mean, it's stupid sharp.
It's gorgeous.
It's so sharp
yeah.
that I did some shots of a young lady that does some modeling.
Okay.
And I have a batch process for doing my skin.
Mm-hmm.
I had to do it twice. Because she had some pot marks on her face,
Oh, gosh.
and it was
Wow.
really like the contrast on this lens. It's
you had
stupid.
to do it twice.
Yeah, it was just too sharp.
God.
I mean, because we're always worried about, I want a sharp image, and there's a lot that goes into a sharp image.
Yeah, but
other
sometimes
than
when
the
you're,
glass.
when you're dealing with like close-ups on skin,
Right.
especially like women, we don't want it tack sharp.
What about guys? Come on, I got
Yeah, but
I like to look pretty.
you do. But I don't know. I just feel like women definitely like a softer image. We don't
A
want
softer glow.
Yeah, we don't want our stuff tack sharp like that.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
things for Fuji. Let's talk to Fuji, because this is going to be
Yes.
our bandwagon.
Definitely.
If I pay more money for a 1.4,
Right.
I would like that 1.4 to be weather sealed.
I agree 1,000%. I'm kind of wondering why you are paying twice as much and it's not weather sealed. I mean, why is that? Why?
Exactly. It seemed like it'd be the other way around. It seemed like the F2 versions that are less expensive.
Right.
And they're still great lenses. I
They
own
definitely
several of them.
are. Yeah.
why did we add the weather sealing to that and not to the more expensive ones?
Yeah, exactly.
So let me see, the 35, okay, not weather sealed.
Yeah, because even the 23 1.4 that I just got, I mean, boy, that was a nice chunk of change. And
56. This was expensive.
Yeah.
The 1.2.
Yeah.
Not weather sealed.
Wow.
The
I think we
18. The 18's weather sealed. just saying.
See,
I'm gonna throw that out there.
But I just upgraded to the 16. I can't go back. I can't do it.
Why
Even
go
though
back?
that's beautiful.
Just add one.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I've got a lot in that bag already. Plus weddings, you're carting all this other stuff around too. So I have to keep my bag light.
Speaking of bags, I think we need to get onto the bag thing.
Yeah.
On maybe next month we'll talk about bags for your Fuji gear.
Fuji should make a bag.
Well, they do some branding with Domke.
Yeah.
And with Peak Design, but
Okay.
I don't know if they have made. We should send them some designs.
We should. I think we've got some ideas that we can give to them.
I think it'd be great. All right, so I think that wraps it up for primes versus zooms. Just find the one that you like, use it, and don't worry about what everybody else says.
Definitely.
So long as it's FujiFilm.
Right. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. You guys have a great day.